tech support anymore, therefore I'm useless.
Being in tech support, you give up this aura of, the problem isn't there anymore.
I've lost that power.
Yeah, because you're not in tech support anymore.
Ignorance is bliss.
Well...
Well,
Speaking of bliss,
You're right there.
give me my goddamn laser weapon.
Actually, okay.
Wow.
Let's actually start on this because I've been doing a bit of research on this in particular.
yes, his pack laser.
Yeah, so this is the interesting thing.
of
I did some
laser.
reading on the Hexblade weapon, so we'll start off with this. So let's just quickly go over what happened last week then, shall we? Mm-hmm. Last week, you had spent some time recovering from a bullet attack out in the open from where this downed nautiloid was. You managed to do a short rest, I believe, before heading on over to the crashed nautiloid site, and after a little bit of effort and climbing on the ship, you managed to make your way inside. Immediately upon entering what would be best described as the cargo hold of this ship, you found a flesh golem was cleaning up, like pushing a broom around and cleaning up the bottom part of it.
I still imagine it with a tiny, tiny little dustpan and brush.
Exactly. Along with 3 other creatures, which I don't think you quite identified at the time, but they are actually called...
Boogers.
Gnome Squidlings.
Gnome Squidlings.
Who was ostensibly there to help the flesh golem tidy up, but as far as you can tell, they were just annoying the flesh golem. A brief fight did break out, but before it could get too serious, one of the illithids, who happened to be a gnome, what were they called? Gnome illithids? Gnome mind flayers? Gnome ceramorphs? Broke up the fight by coming downstairs and stopping the flesh golem from attacking, and you guys tentatively put away your weapons. He led you upstairs to the command deck, which I didn't describe at the time, but I'll do so now. Suspended from the ceiling of this high-domed chamber is a complex lattice of bioluminescent jellyfish that use the glowing tips of their tendrils to form constellations. A high-backed chair with short armrests capped with sparkly blue crystal orbs tilts up towards the display. A panel on the starboard wall lies open, exposing a pulsing tendril of flesh embedded with crystal shards. There you met the captain of the ship, another gnome ceramorph. They were named Dradovex and Vorin. After a bit of negotiating, you found they were trapped here. They'd crashed during a blizzard when one of the abductees had escaped and caused the nautiloid to crash, which also inadvertently freed Carnelian.
Yay!
They were saying they can't leave here without a psi crystal to try and get themselves up and running, and that they were dangerously close to having to self-destruct the vessel. You agreed to help, after coming to the understanding that they weren't there to create more mind flayers, and that they were just abducting people to study them. Even so, still kind of weird. I feel for Carnelian that's like, we're helping these guys. Okay. And that's where we left off. But before we did end, they did present you with a magical weapon, which was a laser pistol. And there's some complicated stuff in the book here about how to handle alien technology in a fantasy setting, making it difficult to even utilize. But then I was thrown for an absolute loop by Wodun, who was like, I'm just going to pack that weapon and ignore all of the disadvantages.
Yeah, boy.
Genius.
Genius. Here's where we get to a little bit of a technical rules thing, and I'm going to bring it to you guys, because it is quite a powerful weapon. It's a 3d6 radiant damage weapon. The packed weapon feature in like the Hexblade Warlock and everything I read for the Pact of the Blade feature on the Warlock, when it says you can pact weapons, you either create a weapon out of nothing, so you generate a weapon, usually something that you know about, or you pact a magical weapon, which allows you to pack that magical weapon as your pact weapon. Technically, and I've done some reading on this, and surprisingly, it's not clear in this adventure, but rules as written, the laser pistol is not technically a magical weapon. It does radiant damage, but it's not like a +1 weapon or anything like that.
But how can it be? How can it not be magical and do a magical type of damage?
'Cause it fires a
is there
laser.
anything that can do?
I mean, technically, you could get an arrow and dip it in tar and then light it on fire, and you do fire damage.
Plus piercing.
Well, the overall damage would probably just be fire.
There's a difference between radiant and fire.
Yes,
So-
I understand, but it's because it's a laser pistol. Now, this is the thing, right? That's what I've been reading up on, and it's technically a laser pistol isn't a magical item. But now we get into the nitty-gritty of weird D&D stuff and what is a magical item. I'm actually going to put it to you guys, because one of the things that I don't want to do is make the adventure not fun. And this is the first magical item that you've gotten yet, I think, as a party.
It is, yeah.
Technically, and if it's not a magical item, well, you haven't got one. There's other offerings as well. But it is a really powerful item at 3d6. That's more than a great sword, not including other things.
But also, it's in my rolling.
I did consider that as well.
Yeah. I'm
You
rolling
actually
those 3d6.
considered that. Oh my god.
I was like, well, Andrew is rolling.
Let me roll.
It also has a
3d6 right now. Maximum damage possibility is 18.
Yeah.
This is how much damage it'll always do.
You've already given up.
Oh
on the
wow,
dice
okay.
tower.
That's a bad example. I rolled fine.
See,
it was
even
13.
Even Andrew
a
can
6.
roll well.
It's a little higher than average. It's
Now-
a good roll.
Yeah.
Now, there's caveats to this. The weapon only has 50 shots total. So once they're done, it's done. It's done. It can't be recharged. So I'm erring on the side of letting you do this. I could also do the caveat of you can't add your charisma bonus to damage and just use the 3d6
Well,
flat.
it doesn't say plus a stat.
It doesn't say plus
so
a stat, yeah.
I would say it would be just 3d6 flat, but with charisma to hit.
Yes, of course. But so this is the thing. So I think maybe to balance this out, I'm going to allow you to pact it if you want. You can't add your charisma on top of the damage. This will just be 3d6 flat, which I think is still a pretty good range. It's 3 to 18 damage-wise.
Oh, it's a lot.
So look, let's do this for now. I want you to track how much it is. If you agree with it, why don't we just leave 3d6 flat as the damage? There's not an additional charisma bonus on top to hit, of damage. And we'll see how it goes, because there was another pistol on offer in the adventure, and we can play this out. Maybe we can change that out for a different item if we feel like, well, this is too strong.
I can't believe they wrote a friggin' laser into the campaign.
I feel like
crazy.
they didn't think about the packed weapon warlock thing. So
Which is weird, not thinking about
Or-
what is arguably one of the most popular classes in the edition.
or if they
Bunch of
did, it's not
idiots.
intended to be a magical item and therefore not intended to be pactable. So let's do that. Let's do the one pistol. Let's see how it evens out. If it makes things too, if it's too strong, then we'll just put a couple restrictions on it. If not, let's have fun.
Light them up.
Yeah.
All right. So Wodun, you can take that and you can pack. I think you need an hour.
Woo! We got a long ride ahead of us.
We got a long ride here, Master. Quick. Receive the psi crystal detector.
You did get a psi crystal detector, and to help you try and find them, but it only detects psi crystals, I think, within 5 kilometers. I said
5
maybe
miles.
5 miles. Correction. Yes. Sorry. Bloody Americans. 10 kilometers, roughly. So the question I have for you guys is, what do you want to do?
Do we know what the psi crystals look like? Did they show us?
Yeah.
They did, I think.
No,
within
yeah,
line.
you did describe one last session, so
Yeah, I
I think they would have showed us one.
Well, I don't have one, but I think Jen's correct. They did mentally project
An
what a
image,
psi crystal
yeah.
I
looks
think
like.
also what happened was I brought out the crystal shards that we collected from episode 1.
Yes.
And they said that was a suitable alternative.
At least to keep them. So yes, it was a suitable alternative to keep them stabilizing their environmental controls,
But it's
not enough to allow them to launch again.
Yeah.
But
So we have 4 days instead of 2.
yeah, well, it would have been 2 days. You have approximately 4. They don't know exactly. It could be 5, could be 3, but you've given them some extra time at the very least.
Okay.
But it's still a fairly tight time frame to find, because your days, like you're possibly a couple days from nearest town, even by sled. You don't really have any clue. Well, you don't know exactly where psi crystals are.
They did mention that they were anywhere where you would find other, gemstones.
Yep,
To which I remember that there is, in fact, a closed gem mine in Tourmaline.
there is. All right, let me move us over then. Okay, I've moved you over to the Icewind Dale map.
Oh, yeah.
which does now have all the major towns and settlements highlighted for you, and the trail or the roads that you could conceivably take.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Well, I think perhaps Tourmaline, as we just discussed, may be the best bet.
We are very close to Sunblight, though.
You are.
How? Maybe
Oh,
it's
wait,
worth-
no, we have a time limit with these guys,
Yes.
don't we? Mm.
Yeah, but it might be within 5 miles. I don't know. You turn it on and see.
Sunblight is roughly within 8 miles or so. But
What time of day is it? Is it still in the morning, or are we like midday-ish
you're
now?
probably around midday-ish now because you had woken up in the morning, gotten into a couple fights, your mum got scared. You took
That was it. You're off to Bel Air.
you're off to Bel Air. You rested for a little while because the bullet fight was particularly brutal, and you made your way in. I'm going to say it's around midday.
We could like conceivably get like a little closer to Sunblight and see if the sight crystal detector like does any beeps,
So,
and if it doesn't, then start heading north.
looking at the map and where Carnelian's memory is, there's a big ass mountain in the way.
There is.
So, going slightly over there, you can go around that mountain if you go further south, and then over, and there looks to be some hills in the way. But there's still quite the journey to even try and get slightly closer to Sunblight, if you're assuming there's crystals there.
That is correct. I mean, you don't. Whilst you've got like light, if you go as the crow flies, it's direct, but you would have to sort of make your way through forests and things like that.
What if, hear me out, Andrew, you don't have to do this. You could use your Chewinga to like fly it over there and like come
I
back
have a
with
Chewinga?
Yeah, you've got like 2 more charges on your Chewinga.
Your Chewingas.
You're
Yeah,
summoning.
big ass
my
eagle.
summoning animal thing.
Yeah, and you can like
that's
have it
right.
fly over. If the thing goes off, he can come back and tell us.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us?
I can talk with animals.
That's true.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the Chewinga would throw a snowball at you.
Does the
What?
Chewinga speak Sylvan?
Says you.
I think we.
You weren't there.
You're not the one calling the snowballs. They came from the trees.
I think you determined last time when you were talking about Chewingas that they have no languages and they are elementals.
Oh, there you go.
Well, shall we?
Yes. You want to do- oh.
You look over and there's an eagle on. He's attacked Wodun from the back now. Wodun's face down in the snow and there's a giant eagle sitting on his back.
You're just face first on the cold steel of the deck,
Came all the way in.
What a majestic creature.
Oh yeah, I was telling something.
you asked
It's like a magpie in a classroom, just
the two half-size mind flames like giant bird.
Well,
The
you
guy
have to
gets
put
his
your arm
broom.
out like this.
the big guy gets his broom and he's trying to like
Oh,
push it out the window.
Actually, and immediately as you try and lift your head to maybe roll over, the 2 tiny snowballs smack you in the back.
Oh,
Where do you
son
even
of a
get
bitch.
those? Are we still inside? I'm
You
so
are still
On the
inside.
deck. We're on the deck
Where did you
You're on
get
the
this?
deck
Oh,
of the
okay.
Enterprise.
He came
You
prepared.
didn't tell me you'd left.
It was an ambush.
What you can do is you can make your way to the middle deck, and it actually leads outside if you go downstairs, and you could let it set off from there if you want.
Yeah, let's put the Chewingas to work.
Make him earn those snowballs.
Yeah.
Can we just, for experience sake, say that we ask the halfling mind flayers how it goes, how the detector goes off,
Yes,
so we would know.
Yeah, so I think I described it last week, but similar to a
Okay.
Geiger counter, as you get closer, it clicks and ticks.
Okay.
And so the more intense it is, the closer you are.
Alright.
And you could, I think, Jen, if Sveta wants to use the speak with animals, then you can relay that information to the.
Yeah, I was hoping to like ritually cast it before
Yes. That's okay.
the Wodun just suddenly summoned it.
I'll give some DM leniency in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
I will ask them to keep note of the ticking,
Okay.
and if it gets faster, let us know where. And then we'll go there.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, also let us know.
Okay. What if it just stays the same? Alright, so you're on the middle deck. You let the eagle... It's a giant eagle, isn't it?
Sure.
Cool, I'm really glad that you're confident with that. You let the giant eagle with the chewinga riding its back off, and it flies away.
Oh wait, you forgot the counter.
Oh, you didn't say! It's got the counter draped over its neck. I'm going to also say that if you want in this time, because there's about an hour that this thing is around, so whatever happens, it has to be back within an hour.
Yeah.
You can also rest if you'd like, a short rest
Alrighty.
in the ship. Within the
that
hour,
neck.
the large eagle comes back and informs you that the box did not make a sound.
I relay this information.
Thank you, Eagle. You're the second best eagle I've ever met.
You're welcome!
What's the
Holy
first?
shit. The first eagle.
Did we ever name that eagle?
Yeah, it started with M.
Okay.
Monty?
Marvin or something? I don't know. Did you know that eagles fly at an average speed of 64 to 113 kilometers an hour?
They would definitely be able to make that
That's
distance
moving.
then. It does have to get over a mountain, so I'm just going to say it had enough time to check. Come back.
That's fair.
Well, looks like Tourmaline's the next natural place to check. But I suppose we can keep the thing on the whole way. See if anything pings.
You don't even know how to turn it off.
Oh, it's always on, baby.
It's on.
Hopefully it doesn't run out of batteries or whatever.
It runs on mines.
Oh my god.
Hopefully it doesn't run out of mines.
Are you intelligent?
Check the average int score of the party.
Yeah, that's... Alright, you've got a day. Okay, so you want to leave the nautiloid, get back on your sled and head off?
Yep.
Towards the trail, the 10 trail.
Okay, so you're going to head that way instead of going anywhere else, is that right?
Well, I think the plan was to hit the 10 trail and then head up to Bryn Shander and then from there to Tourmaline.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Just as we're going towards the cart, we passed by like the big blood pools of mine and Horatio's blood.
I thought you were talking about the bullet and the carrion
No,
crawlers,
I
but
don't
no.
care about their blood.
There's an artwork idea for you. 2 giant pools of blood and like a love heart. And
Yeah.
You guys are reaching towards each other on the floor.
Dead. I'll just like knock my shoulder against Horatio, and just, you'll feel like a slight purr, and I'll just be like, I don't think I thank you enough for saving my life.
Aww.
Well, I'm sure you do the same, and you have.
Yes, I'm very glad you convinced me to take some healing.
I'm very glad that you did too. I believe it's been well, I guess it feels like a while for us, but it's probably only been like a week tops since we had that discussion about you wanting to
2 days.
healing.
Yeah.
Only 2 days.
Yeah. I'm easily convinced.
Are you talking about in East Haven?
Very early
Oh,
on, we had a
oh.
chat.
Oh,
I
when
was,
we first
like,
met.
way back,
jeez.
and you said I want to learn the ways of healing.
Yeah, I think that was like over 10 days.
But that's still like 2
It's
weeks.
pretty fresh.
Yeah.
I think it would even be within the within the 7 to 10
10
Yeah.
within the
Yeah.
7 to 10
Not
days. Yeah.
much. 10-day jobs.
It's so crazy when you think about D&D and like how long things happen in game turns, because we've been doing this for the better part of a year now. But it's only been for these characters a couple of a week.
Yeah.
This is a 1 week bodybuilding exercise where you guys are leveling up, being heroes.
Oh yeah, we're flying through the levels. Svieta, and I'm obviously we've saved each other now, and I'm really glad that you have decided to take more of a path of the healer. I think it's a very noble and selfless path, and I admire you for doing it.
Oh, thank you. It's a little bit different now. I don't know why. A bit more painful, but it gets the job done.
You'll find that people will either ignore you or yell at you that you're not doing a good job. So when you're being ignored, that's when you're doing a good job.
No. I'm so used to the children coming up to me and getting the bowls that I whittle for them. I'm not used to people yelling at me.
I imagine the high of giving a good quality bowl to a child. This may not compare, but I can assure you it's a very noble profession.
I can't wait for the winter to end so I can do something like that.
Yes, I can't wait to get out of here as well.
And do the exact same wording as no money. Rejecting coin like you do.
Yes, we'll see about that.
I need to mix it. That's right, you can't pickpocket.
I'm so torn right now. Callan will turn away. Cover your ears. Earmuffs.
Well, I will help the dogs on the first part of the journey.
I'll join you at the front.
I will be turning into an animal to help them out a little bit.
Oh, I won't join you that far.
No,
Not that far from
I will be big enough to ride, but I don't expect you to do that.
No, sorry. I'll just sit at the front.
Oh my god, can you imagine Wodun riding through the forest on horseback with a laser gun?
It's so cool.
It really
Now
turns
we
me
can
into a
realise
cowboy.
Yep.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Does that mean whenever you change and help out the dogs, like you're the alpha for the...
Oh, buddy, just you wait.
Okay.
Got some competition.
All right.
Right. Where are we heading?
Well,
North on the 10 trail, I
yeah,
believe.
back to the 10 trail, back to the main road, so we're not in these back country, don't have to go past Duggan's Hole again.
That's a very good idea.
Screw Duggan's Hole, am I right, guys?
Totally, I'm with you on that. Callan can take the lot of them.
I'm right here.
No, you're not.
Oh, shit.
No, you're
I
not.
followed you out here.
I got it, Andrew.
I got a natural 20 on my stealth check. How you doing?
You think you've got a gun? I've got a gun.
Quick, get the laser
Well,
pistols.
that's a gun. Sorry. Yeah.
I'll go up to the front.
They're not moving. Yeah.
I'll go up to the front, and there's always like a loose chain with the front dog beside.
Sure.
I don't know. There's just an extra one.
Says reserved spot.
Yeah, my reserve spot. I'll put it in my mouth and then immediately transform into a dire wolf.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I saw one in the distance once.
I saw it in the distance.
I don't think I approved this.
Whoa.
So it's about double the size of Dogcliff, and it has like spots all over its fur, and it just looks absolutely menacing.
It's got big
yeah.
fangs as well.
Yeah, but like saber cat fangs.
Yeah.
Like there's
Wow.
still a bit of like cat to it.
Like
How-
the
Oh,
two
this
big
one in
front
particular.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
How tall at the shoulder?
It's like a party-sized wolf.
Yeah, probably come up to maybe like your chest height.
It's big.
That's
It's
terrible.
5 foot, yeah.
It's a
5 foot,
Tibetan Mastiff.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then some.
Just as fluffy.
That's absolutely terrifying. Okay.
Yeah, we've got some real horsepower.
Well, terrifying
Horsepower.
would be when there's like 8 of them all following you.
Yeah, that's true.
I just made that.
One guy, boof. So, this now giant wolf is leading the pack of dogs and Otto, who's also been helping out in this regard.
What a cutie.
Very confused about what's going on.
He just seems to be having a good time, though.
Everyone else is calm, so he's
Yeah.
enjoying it.
I'm going to forego the animal handling check because you're in charge of this pack, so you can set off.
Yeah.
But where is everyone exactly? So there's 2 spaces on the back of the sled. There's essentially 2 spaces inside. So
Inside.
you're inside, Carnelian.
Yeah, at the back.
Horatia's on the back.
I'll go. Did you say there's 2 spots inside?
There's 2 inside and 2 outside. That's how you have been arranged.
I'll go inside and I'm packing my weapon.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
true.
like learning how to
May
spin
wanna
it on my
come out,
finger.
Carnelian.
Yeah, you can. So Horatio's by himself, just on the back.
Just
directing
thinking about what
traffic.
Svieta said and thinking about everything. He's thinking about... This has sort of given him a bit of a perspective. I mean, he's never come this close to dying in his life, despite being surrounded by people on the verge of death for the best part of his career. So for him, it's a real... I guess this trip is for him now is just a chance to reflect. You know, like, because he's made a pretty hard turn, and all of a sudden he's like, he's really embraced the whole Callan thing. But I think this experience with Svieta sort of brought him back down to earth a little bit. And so, yeah, I think he's just thinking, you know, he hasn't decided which way to go yet, but he's sort of just, I guess you'd say, back in the middle in terms of the scale of things, if that makes sense. Like,
So-
rather than physician, like man of science, or like man of God, you know. So he's sort of,
Still that internal struggle
yeah.
about what to do.
Yeah, so he's just out the back thinking.
So I mean, this is the first time I think in transit that you've had, like, usually there's always someone next to you. So yeah, you've got some time to reflect, and you do so.
Please don't make me roll a perception check. I am
Actually-
deep in thought.
Well, there's one thing I do want to know before I get you to roll a perception check. And that is, are you going straight north and then cutting across to the 10 trails to the west? Or are you going to try and make your way through the forest west and then hit the 10 trails and head north?
Might be worth trying to cut west just to minimise journeying through the wild again.
I think following the river until we hit the 10 trails might be the smoothest.
It's a smooth path, yeah. Whatever's smoother.
All right. You take you do first head west and get out of and get through the woods until you do hit the frozen river that you were talking about here on this map, and then you start following that river. Once you hit the river, you turn north to follow the banks that you know will eventually sort of lead you to the 10 trail.
Wait a minute. Horacio, stop the cart.
How do I stop it?
Sveta's
Stop the Sveta.
Sveta, can we stop, please?
Sorry, immediately stop.
Thank you.
Just slowly.
How do I stop it? Just tell Sveta to stop.
Sveta, make him stop.
Wodun pops his head out of the cabin of the sled. Is there what's the nearest tree? How far am I looking?
Along this bank, you've got some trees that do press in along the frozen river. So there's one within 50 feet.
What's my range on my gun?
That is a good question. So here's the property. So I gave you the properties before. The damage is 3d6 radiant. It's 2 pounds, and the range is 40, 120. So 40 feet is the initial range increment, and up to 120 in disadvantage.
All right. I'll walk 10 feet from the sled.
Sure.
First of all, do I see any small animals?
Roll a perception check.
Do I see any large, angry-looking animals? I'll just look out for him.
Roll a perception
Yes.
check.
I'm going to drop the rain from my mouth just to watch.
Okay.
18.
You spot 30 feet away a small white rabbit that's poking his head out of a burrow.
Horatio.
Yeah, just hang on. I got a 19 on mine.
You spot a giant bear running towards the car.
Get back in!
At this stage, you don't see any large threatening animals.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching. Looks clear.
Watch this. I don't know how it sounds.
That's it now. That's it. It's canon.
You know what? I'm going to have to ask you to roll to hit.
So I don't get a bonus on this. Oh no, I do. I get
You do.
my
Charisma.
charisma.
What you would normally use, yeah.
How are we playing it? Weren't we just going to do a flat D3D6? Or?
So it's 3d6 damage.
Yeah.
That's a dirty 20.
To hit.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
The roll to hit is successful.
Bug's obliterated. To use
Man.
this.
7.
7 is still enough to explode the rabbit's head. And at a distance of 30 feet, you see a small bloody crater in the snow.
Huh? See that? See that?
I don't know what to say. That's
pretty cool.
Remarkable.
Ever seen anything like that before?
It's utterly terrifying.
I know. So good. Anyway, let's go.
You
You now have 49 shots left.
You got to remember
Fair.
in the context of us, like you have a laser gun, like
Yeah.
that's
Sounds like a-
mind blowing to us.
Well, literally, yes.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes, I
but,
do.
like fascinating.
Do they give you is it like a wand? Does it cast a spell?
It's like concentrated Kellenvor.
Yeah. Wait.
Whoa.
Hey, can I have a go at that thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna have any other rabbit. Can I look for any rabbits?
I'll roll over your
Its partner
19.
comes out
Yeah.
of the hole. Oh my god!
Damn it, Andy, I was just about to say, out of the same burrow comes another rabbit. It goes,
Oh, there's one.
before you fire, you need to roll an intelligence check to work out how to fire it.
How did you do it? I'm just like holding it up, like even for a moment, point the barrel at my face for a moment. How did you?
Was
how
there
did
not
you
a
do that?
bonus for like observing it used, or
I'll do the golf thing where I stand behind him and reach her and hold his arms and it's like this, Horatio. Look down the barrel.
Okay.
Breathe out when you pull the trigger.
All right.
Alright, so this is a straight up intelligence check. It
Yep.
does say the character has seen the item used or has operated a familiar item, has advantage on the intelligence check, so roll with advantage.
Woohoo!
Nice. You're doing
Take
tender holding.
Your tender guiding grip.
Guide his hips.
Guide my hips, Callan. It's a 2 and a 5. So
Too
4 and
tender.
a 7.
You fail to not only do you fail to use the weapon, you consume a charge.
A little tight. I'm not getting it. It's not happening.
You just hear the click sound.
It looks like I'm firing blanks, Wodun.
It's all right, Horacio. You get the next one. I won't judge you on that.
Okay.
That's your first go.
Thanks.
Everyone's bad on their first time.
Yeah.
Except me. I was really good. Did you see that rabbit explode?
Yeah, Wad Rabbit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there at all a corpse there?
I mean, it's a laser pistol, so it's like I guess it would be burned to a crisp.
Radiant damage, right?
Yeah, it is radiant damage. Yeah.
What would happen if something received a huge amount of radiant damage very quickly?
I guess maybe
It'd probably cook it.
Yeah,
Or, like, just go straight
surround
through.
it.
Yeah, it's just a nice, neat hole in the head.
Or it, like evaporated, I think, maybe?
Oh.
Like when in Dragon Ball Z, when they get hit with a big beam, it just kind of like goes
Just
down.
turns them into
Wait,
mist.
the bit with Cell is just like a pair of legs.
Yeah.
There's nothing there?
There is a rabbit charging towards you.
What?
Really?
Yeah, you missed it. Well, you didn't do anything. It's coming for you.
Whoa. It's coming! Okay, I'm gonna have another go.
Roll an intelligence check.
Isn't this one a disadvantage because you fucked up the first one?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, you're correct. You have disadvantage on the next check.
Flat roll because he helped me? Or how does it work?
No, it does say specifically disadvantage, so I'm
Alright.
going to say disadvantage.
Good. It was a 19 and an 11 still. 13?
13 is still a failure, but it's not. It didn't waste the shot, and you don't have disadvantage. The rabbit is still charging towards you.
Did I shoot it just went randomly around? Or?
No, you didn't shoot, but you also didn't waste the charge like the last one. Because if you
Oh.
fail by 9 or lower, you waste the charge.
Oh, so...
And then the next
Quite
level
mega
up is a failure. The rabbit attacks.
Oh, it felt closer, but I didn't quite get there.
Did you?
Jen, please.
Andrew, you didn't touch them enough.
Oh,
This
no.
is a different dice.
Oh.
Did you just get crit by a bunny?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a natural 20.
So what, like
Double the one.
2d4 minus 1?
Yeah. The bunny hits you for 4 damage. You get smacked by its thumpy legs.
Are we in a Monty Python skit now?
Does that mean it's my go now?
Sure.
Because everyone's had a go?
Oh, we're on initiative, baby.
Yeah, well,
Give me this, Horatio. And I bend down and I put the barrel right against the rabbit.
Wouldn't the attack roll be a disadvantage in melee range?
I just rolled a hit.
17.
Now I have a dead rabbit in front of you.
Sorry, Horatio. It's all over your legs.
Oh, no, well... At least the rabbit finished.
Can you pick up the rabbit?
I'll
Skin it and, like, we can have it for dinner.
I'm
anything
gonna
left?
trot over, pick the rabbit up, and give it to Otto.
Is that, what, the puddle?
Yeah.
No, only the head has a little hole in it.
Oh,
okay.
It's very concentrated, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say
I was thinking of, like, splattered.
there's a bit of splatter.
It's like bored right through the
Oh
rabbit.
my god.
Is that so? It consumes a charge if I hit, yeah.
Yeah, so
I've
you've used
three.
3 charges,
Alright,
yeah.
cool.
Otto's a growing boy. He needs rabbit.
He needs his rabbit slop.
Don't worry, I've got a bunch of dead goat in my backpack.
Oh,
We're sorted.
we're good, we're good.
Yeah. I'll
Otto
even
won't-
whittle us some like
Goat
sticks for
shanks.
kebabs.
Otto won't turn on you yet.
Why would you say that?
How much food do you have?
So much.
Alright. Oh my god. Alright. Is there anything else you wish to do?
That's utterly terrifying, Wodun. You can definitely keep that one.
I'm very excited. This thing's really fun.
They were offering us another one of those.
I know. I was thinking about robbing them with this one.
They give it to you and you just immediately fight them.
Hold them up. And the other one, thank you.
Alright.
How long have we been traveling for?
You've only really been travelling for maybe 20 minutes at this point.
Okay, that's too bad.
It's fairly close. I'm going to say half an hour. Half an hour.
Okay.
Good, well, shall we?
Oof.
Yeah.
You're back on your way after being attacked by the deadly rabbit. You start making your way along this bank, and eventually you hit the point where the trees become more sparse.
Onwards.
To the 10 trail.
You're travelling along, and Horatio, you're deep in introspection over what you'd spoken about earlier. Thinking about the sort of torn decisions you have between being a physician and being a cleric. I imagine Carnelian is huddled down in like very well kept warm.
No, he's going to be playing.
Yeah, okay. You're playing just sort of, the notes slide lazily out from the cart. Svieta is making her way like as the head of the pack, and Wodun is checking out his cool laser gun.
He's learning how to like spin it on his finger and holster it.
Yeah.
No, Callan, it's
Cool
not
guy.
lazy playing, it's jazz.
Yeah, well, I was giving that sort of air about it. Horacio, I'd like
Yes?
you to roll me a perception check, please.
15.
15. So you're heading along, and you notice in the distance that there seems to be some kind of fog at the very edge of like sort of the horizon, and you can't see many trees past it.
So it's a clearing.
You've got some sparse trees that you're passing from side to side, and just in the distance you can see a fog.
Okay. Are we back at the 10 trail yet? Or are we still
Not yet.
on the river?
You're still going along the river.
Okay.
Wait, so the trees are not less sparse, but there's just a fog in the trees.
There's a fog in the trees in the distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Svieta. You, can you see that fog ahead? Should we slow it up a little?
I'll
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. What the fuck?
I'll slow down to a trot.
You slow down. Svieta, just with your eyesight's not quite as good as a wolf, I imagine,
Yeah.
compared to your like smell and hearing.
Yeah.
You haven't really noticed it before Horatio pointed it out.
Perhaps we should just keep our eyes open and take it a little slower. Do we see any, can we see the edges of the fog? Is it a defined region, or is it just all ahead?
It just seems to be all ahead.
Okay, so it doesn't appear, like going around doesn't really look like a viable option.
No, you would. Yeah, if you'd have to turn really far out of your way, you'd think.
It's my turn to pop my head down into the cabin.
Okay.
Hey, you two. Whoa! Which way you point that thing,
Sorry,
mister?
sorry.
Hey, we've got some fog up ahead, just letting you guys know. We're going to take it a little slow, so just be ready for anything, okay?
Wodun will come out and stand at the back with Horatio.
If Carnelian pokes his head out and looks at the fog, is this like a weird sort of like an out of place sort of weather effect, or is this something that could be perfectly expected given the current weather conditions?
Roll a nature check.
Come on, Ric Flair. Woo! Oh, fuck yes.
You gotta call me Ric Flair more often.
I know.
You gotta woo more.
Woo! 22.
Okay. Well, after the effect, it's not take.
It looks somewhat odd. Looking at it from the top, it's almost like a cloud has just banked down, and you're going to be going into a cloud bank. It's unusual. It's not an impossible weather pattern, but it certainly is unusual.
Single eyebrow cocks up.
Wodun's pointing his laser gun at the fog like he would a torch. He's like just holding it dead out in front of him, just pointing.
Yeah, this is a little weird. We might
Spike
want
laser.
to light up some torches because fog.
Yeah, fine idea. Torches up.
Okay. All of you light some torches except for Svieta.
Oh,
On the account that she's a direwolf.
That is true.
you can light up my rain.
I cast light on Sveta's rain.
Okay.
I immediately regret this
Better with
decision.
your on the nose. Clearly, come on.
What's the? Is it like a bid? What's it called? There's
Bridle?
Bridle. Yeah. Okay. So it's like the bridle of the rain.
Yeah.
It's all lit up.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
what
serious size, and you got a bridle on that dog.
It's a pretty seriously sized dog.
yeah.
And Wodun is aiming his gun at the fog bank as you would firing automatic weapons into a hurricane, but perhaps. You continue slowly. Eventually the fog does get closer and closer. It seems to be fairly static. And you reach the point where if you go any further you'll start being enveloped by it.
Can I make a perception check with my nose?
Sure can.
Thank you. With advantage.
Have a sniff. It's raining on us. anyhow sniff.
It's a pretty good sniff. It's a 19 on sniff.
You do smell something unusual on the air. It's a smell that you can't quite place. It doesn't smell like the normal natural smells that you're used to in the forest. It's sort of stinging on the edges of your nose, like almost like pinpricks on your sinuses.
It doesn't remind me of the events that happened in Goodmead when I met everyone. Like that kind of fog.
No.
Okay. I do not know how to convey this information.
Just see you sniffing real hard.
Yeah, I'll shake my head.
I gotcha.
Yep.
This fog, does it? Can I just have a look at it and see if it reminds us of, like Svieta said, the fog that we encountered on that fateful day?
I mean, it's not dissimilar, but you could, I guess, with the difference with the town and the forest in the very first day that you had is you could never see the breadth of it. And it always felt like it was somewhat centered around that creature that you eventually destroyed and you got the crystal from. Almost like that was generating the fog, because as soon as you destroyed that, it dissipated. If that was the same case here, it must be far more powerful, because the fog extends as far as you can see either side. And again, it's almost like a cloud coming out from as high as you can see,
Right.
curving down and hitting the snow.
What about the opacity? Is it similar, like, thickness?
It doesn't look as thick as the one that you initially encountered, at least from here.
Okay. Proceed onwards with torches lit.
Okay. You enter the fog. Torches lit and bridles illuminated.
Lasers out.
Lasers at the ready. You are still following, though, the river. It's still fairly easily on your left-hand side, and you know that if you continue to follow this, you'll come to a confluence where the 10 Trails is very close to that. So you should be able to find your way even in this fog. Everyone roll me a perception check since they're on edge.
Oh, yeah.
Can I still do mine with advantage? With sniff?
Yeah, if that's specifically what you're doing.
Oh, there you go.
Was that with just flat roll?
Flat roll, yeah. But for Svieta, I think it's advantage you're using
Just
sniffing. Do you also have advantage on hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 for me. So
Natural 20.
25.
25.
12.
14.
13.
Still got it.
Almost immediately as you enter the fog, Carnelian gets this sense of claustrophobia. You've been in fog before, but like you go in maybe 20 feet and just immediately, even though it's not any closer than the one that you experienced the first time that you all met each other, something just feels off. You're like, you can't see anything, you can't hear anything. The sound starts to deaden as soon as you go in, and the crunching of the dog's feet on the snow seems to almost bottom out. Svieta, the same thing. It's as if as soon as you enter and you go maybe 10, 15 feet, it's almost like any sound that you would normally be hearing in the distances, birds, leaves rustling in the wind, is just gone. And all you're hearing are just your own footsteps, not even the dogs behind you. You can tell because it feels like a single set.
Oh, okay. I'll still keep the same trot.
Okay.
Should we pick up the pace, maybe? Get through this quicker.
Should probably pass the guys.
You can ask Svieta if you want.
I don't know how I'm going to say yes or
You
no.
just go woof, woof.
I think we shouldn't... Well, obviously we should be careful. Fog. We don't want Svieta to run headfirst into a tree, but we should try to get out of here as soon as possible. I am absolutely not liking this fog.
I agree. I think we don't want to go too fast, but, you know, provided we don't come across anything, sort of maintain the pace, I think. But if we do come across something, then get ready to go.
Yeah, and throughout this whole conversation, as you're talking to one another, like, it's almost like yelling in a soundproof room. Like, things that you would expect to echo just fall short. And you can hear each other, but there's no bass in it. There's no reflection in it.
Sorry, I forget. Is that how fog actually works, or is it the opposite, where sound travels like better through?
I'm not going to get into the logistics of it, but let's say this is unusual.
That's
and
what I wanted. Yeah,
yes.
that's what I'm looking for here.
Even if it did deaden sound, it wouldn't. This is extreme. Like it's almost like you're talking to each other with fingers in your ears.
Proceed cautiously, but at the same trotting pace.
All right, you're moving on, and you're still fairly confident. You've got the river to your left, and you've got some trees to your right. Svieta and Carnelian, rolling over your checks from before, you've been travelling now for about 10 minutes. And just in the very distance of your hearing, very, very quietly, you think you catch something. This sort of...
Does it sound like anything I'd recognize?
You want to roll a nature check?
Nature check, sure.
Go for it, both of you then.
Constipated moose.
15.
13.
That's a bear.
Is Santa the flesh golem following us?
That's right. Santa.
Can I...
Santa, you?
Can I roll an intimidation check and let out a really loud bark?
Preemptively load crossbow.
What's happening? You guys seem really on edge.
Can you not hear that?
No.
And you can...
Got a
Yeah, you
12.
can't.
I can't hear anything.
Well, whatever it is, I am horrified. So maybe count yourself lucky that you can't hear it.
And to roll over the checks from both your natures, it does not sound natural. Roll. So this is like barking or howling or something. So what's your intimidation?
10?
10. You let out... Is it a howl or a bark?
It's like a deep bark.
This deep-throated bark, which coming from a wolf this size should be absolutely terrifying. But again, the sound just deadens as soon as it comes out of your mouth. And it's just like you're almost like you're yelling underwater.
Can I do it?
Sure.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not...
I suppose it wasn't that loud, but still.
And just as soon as you start to hearing it, maybe it's off to your right, it seems to trail off.
So, did you say that these guys ascertained that the sound was not natural?
They didn't feel natural to them.
So it didn't sound like it was coming from an animal, basically.
Not that they could identify. Not with those rolls or...
You can kind of feel the pace of the sled kind of increasing just a little bit.
You would watch as Carnelian dugs down in, just loads his crossbow and then sticks back out with the torch.
Seeing the pace up and Carnelian looking very anxious with a loaded crossbow, they all ready the ding dong.
You continue the ding dong.
Yeah. So if we see an enemy and someone comes to attack us, I will toll the dead.
You ready the donger.
Ready the donger.
You continue on.
Cocked and donged.
Cock and dong. A tale of two boys.
Two boys on a sled.
Two boys on a
Sled boys.
As you continue on, all four of you now, this time, from your right, hear a sound. It sounds much closer.
I don't like that.
Now, along with the sound, the smell that Svieta had when she came in here is stronger, and all of you feel it on your nose. It's this kind of... It's not a syrupy smell, but it's almost like a sickly sweet smell. But it's almost like it's stabbing at your sinuses, and you scrunch your noses up, and you're crying as you're trying to fight off against whatever this is.
Wodun covers his nose.
Just dogs being sad.
In fact, all of the dogs are now starting to be uneasy, and you can hear them yipping and barking to each other. Someone's going to need to roll a handle animal check to keep them in line.
Would that be
Oh my
better?
god, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I'll let you use it.
Thank you. No, you'd be useless.
Nice.
Sweet. 23.
Hell yeah.
You turn around and do a short, sharp bark to them. imagine that you can kind of understand, as in this wolf form, you can kind of understand them. Maybe not exactly like talking to them, but you understand they are all on edge. If you hadn't have pulled them in line then, they would have bolted, and you would have been an uncontrolled speeding through.
Thank Christ.
They know you're the boss. This is just one effortless bark, and they all kept them in check.
Stay in line.
They know who's boss.
Is that closer now?
That feels close.
Does it sound like one creature or multiple?
Hard to tell, but it does sound like it could be singular, but it oscillates quite a lot.
Okay.
I'm going to fire in its general direction.
Okay. You fire. And as soon as you do, the sound stops immediately. And the smell,
The sound of the thing.
the sound of whatever it is, stops. Dead stop. And you notice that the smell sort of fades away.
I did it, guys. I'm a hero.
Seems to have stopped for now.
This laser's amazing.
Was there any like sound of impact or like reaction?
There was not. As soon as it left maybe 10 feet in front of you, it was like it disappeared into the fog. The laser, this thing that has
Oh,
been...
it's in front of us, not like to the side.
to the side. It was to the side.
Okay.
I think to your right. But you fired in the general direction that you heard it.
Did he though? We didn't hear a pew.
You-
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Got
the
it.
laser goes maybe 10 feet and is completely swallowed by the fog, which is strange because even at that distance you should be able to see that bright light traveling through, and you don't hit it. See it. You don't hear it hit anything.
I'm gonna drop the bridle and
Yeah.
like come to the front of the cut so it's at a dead stop now.
Okay. The cut stops.
Like,
Pretty sure I
just,
scared
like,
it off.
nudge you. Like,
Thanks, yes, I did a great job scaring it off.
I like lick your hand. I'm like, I believe you.
What's happening? Are we going to keep moving?
What's the matter, Svieta?
How long have we been traveling for?
Probably now, so from when you started,
Yeah.
probably now about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay. I was gonna change back.
Okay.
It's getting close to 2 hours anyway.
Change back.
Did you kill it?
I at least scared it off. I don't think I hit it, but
He didn't
it
hit
seems
anything.
to be gone.
It did disappear though when he shot at it. So
Impossible to say, but unlikely. Unless it was a miracle shot, and I know how you roll.
roll? What are you? What is this? Some sort of slang?
Oh, I heard once.
You know I roll.
I heard once.
I don't want the dogs going into somewhere where there could be a creature to kill them. Like, I need to be certain that you killed it.
We have no way of knowing. I know that might not bring you comfort. We're already in the fog.
We are still on the riverbank, right? Like we've never lost sight of that.
You look to your left. There is no river anymore.
Should we go searching for it or just bolt out of this fog?
I think we should just keep moving.
We should try and get back to our reference point of the river if we can.
Full speed?
I think finding the river's the...
How dense is the foliage?
Roll a perception check.
That's not good. 9.
In the chaos of what that was and in the shots, you hadn't been paying attention. You don't see a tree nearby.
Oh, that's not good.
You have almost no landmarks around you. You're just in the snow.
Well, I guess we just head in the direction that the sled was pointing. We didn't deviate, did we?
I mean, can we still see tracks behind us from where the sled's been?
You do turn around and you can see some tracks.
Perhaps we could backtrack until we get back near the river. Without a reference point, we are lost.
That's a very good idea. Do you want me to run with the dogs or just go at a trot?
I think it'd be good to run with the dogs. We want to find it quickly. We don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Okay.
And we don't want the weak dogs to get hit first.
Is it snowing?
You don't notice any snow. It's just the fog and the snow around you.
Okay, sorry. Tracks should still be relatively fresh. We should be able to back... And we've only been in the fog for, 20 minutes?
Maybe about half an hour at this... Well,
so,
yeah, maybe about half an hour at this point.
We might even be able to backtrack the whole way out of the fog if we follow our tracks. Unless, of course, this is some sort of illusion magic that we are ensnared in right now.
I'll just shrug I don't know how to detect that.
Do we have some way of dispelling it, or...?
No, but I do actually have detect magic.
Okay.
So, Carnelian will sit down and we'll start ritually casting a detect magic spell.
So we're staying still?
No, please continue heading back. I just need to sit still while I cast this. But I can do that from within the wagon.
Okay, well, just shout out anything if you want me to stop or run.
Will do.
Faster. Alright, I'll just put the bridle back in my mouth and transform back into a dog.
Okay, so you turn around and start following your tracks, yeah?
And officially out of wild shapes.
Okay. You start turning around, and you go for 10 minutes, which is how long it's going to take Carnelian to cast his detect magic. Two things happen.
Oh, sorry. Can I say as well, while we're going, can I just be just casting light on random things that I have in my inventory, like a fork or something, and just throwing them off the side of the cart, into the open? Just
Sure.
light, throw, wait
Yep.
a minute, light, throw, just flares kind of?
You can. Just make sure you take them off your inventory.
Blowing breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Two things happen when the 10 minutes is up. One, ahead of you, Svieta, you notice that the tracks just end and you are still in fog. And number two, when you cast detect magic, the aura of magic that's around you is so strong it almost hurts. And you can detect magic everywhere around you.
What school of magic?
The magic that you are feeling is transmutation magic.
Okay.
What does that mean, Carnelian?
It means it's not an illusion. There's something transformative about the mist. I don't know exactly what that means, though. We are, however, trapped in the middle of a spell.
Right.
I can't give you much more information, but,
So we're at the end of the tracks? They
You're
end?
at the end, they end.
Can we see any sign of either trees or river, frozen river?
Perception check.
Perception. Perhaps
I
we should
also-
all look.
I'm going to sniff out for water.
let's have a look with the detect magic and see if that changes anything.
17 for me.
Dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
23.
Damn.
13.
We see it. We have to see it.
We're out.
Fancy eyes over here.
You don't see any track, any tree, any river. For Carnelian and Wodun that rolled 20 and over, you see in the distance a small yellowish light that seems to be slowly pulsating, very faint, directly ahead of you.
Is the light magic?
It is,
Okay.
but you cannot distinguish it from the magic that you...
Alright.
Carnelian, could that be the caster? Is that a thing?
What do you see?
I don't know.
I see it's like a pulsing light, like a little lighthouse.
Don't think it's a will-o'-the-wisp. But
Will of what?
don't worry about it.
Well, it could be.
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess we have no other
It's
choice.
it's the best we have as far as a reference. We should probably head towards it. Because we either find the caster or we find something else. It's better than not doing nothing.
Just be prepared for a trap. Although it was very hard to notice, so I think we approach it with caution.
You begin to approach the light. And as you begin to approach the light, you see one light, and then it fades out, and then it seems further away, and starts blinking again. Then as you approach it again, it starts to fade out, and you hear... the return of that sound again, and the smell returns.
We've been baited.
It's such a tricky bait. I mean, sorry, this is me talking, not Horatio, but yeah, it's so hard to see. You'd think a trap would be obvious. But yeah, interesting. Unless it's not a trap.
Inquisitive bark to you guys to ask what you want to do.
We should keep going.
What choice do we have?
You guys start towards the light again. Everyone roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, I should shift.
You should shit.
Yep, take a big old dump.
Direwolves are no nervous dumpers.
I didn't know you read so much about direwolves.
Found it by accident in the library.
Oh, true. The Skeens book.
Okay.
17.
17.
15.
15.
16.
16.
24.
24. All of you feel this chill run over your bodies, almost like the warmth is being drawn directly out of them. But you steel yourselves and you don't take any damage.
Does it feel familiar?
It does not.
Okay.
The light now disappears once again, and you see 3 lights in the distance, all pulsating, and they start sort of circling each other in a pattern.
Anything recognizable? Is this like behavior or
Like floating? Are they? Do they look to be above?
They look to be around about head level.
You give me the word, and I will unleash laser hell on those lights.
I think we should
go. Yes. Yes.
I think
I fire the laser.
Yes!
Roll a wisdom saving throw. Everyone again.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Natural 20, baby.
Holy crap.
And
15.
you roll me
15.
a laser evade.
You gotta make the noise.
8.
8. And Svieta?
22.
22.
I whiz.
Okay.
apparently we all whiz.
All of you, except for Horatio, you get that feeling come over you again, but Horatio is unable to steel himself. And you take 11 points of cold damage.
Oh, no.
And you feel like the fog is closing in on you. Like, before it was maybe about, 10 feet out, it almost feels like it's come straight into 5 feet. Almost like the fog was rushing in towards your lights.
I might just take this moment to salve myself.
Okay.
A little bit of frostbite on your fingies.
Yep, needs that salve on that frosty thingy.
Your beard is frozen.
Oh, is it?
It's really, it's white.
The laser?
The laser flies off into the distance. Once again, you don't hear an impact and it disappears almost immediately, and all the lights wink out. But you still hear...
Can Carnelian gauge like a direction that the sound is coming from?
It sounds like it was from the opposite direction of when you last heard it a couple of seconds ago.
Fairy fire from approximately where the sound is?
Alright. What is...
A dexterity saving throw for everything within 20 feet.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 20 foot cube, not 20 foot radius.
The fairy fire spreads out in the direction ahead of you, and it then begins to outline something. Some sort of creature that has a humanoid shape, but it's all wrong. The arms almost seem to come down to the floor, and it seems like it could be something like 10 feet tall. Long, thin arms, and all you see is just this sort of like hunched figure. Even hunched, it's 10 feet tall. Long, thin legs, long, thin arms, and almost hit the ground with long, spindly fingers, and leads up to a head that doesn't appear to have any kind of hair to it. It doesn't appear to be wearing any clothes. It just seems to be this long creature, and you hear this.
Carnelian is immediately going to point to the outline and tell Wodun, fire shoot there.
Is that sufficient visual in order to toll the dead?
Yeah, you can do so.
See if the laser hits first.
Do I get advantage if it's fairy fire?
You do get advantage on attack rolls against something that's outlined by fairy fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Both 9s. 13.
13 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. It seems to go wide. Toll the dead.
Toll the dead. Whiz save.
There's a save. That's 18.
Yep, same.
All of you make a wisdom saving throw.
I got an 11.
11?
Yep.
Okay.
13.
13.
21.
21.
It's cocked.
No, just-
Ooh, 21.
21. This time, Carnelian and Svieta, you take cold damage. That's 11, 12, 16 points of cold damage. And the figure starts reaching its long hand out towards the cart. And it's almost like the splayed fingers feel like it's almost as big as the cart in front of you.
Oh, shit, what? I'm gonna drop the bridle, like, come to us. I suppose we were already stopped.
Yeah.
Drop the bridle
Yeah.
and, like, come into a defensive stance along the sled.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything as well?
I'm just going to keep tolling the dead. I don't know how often I can do it, but
That's all right.
Yeah, I'll get off the sled and stand at the front.
Okay.
If we're attacking it, Carnelian is going to put a crossbow bolt into it.
All right. Rolls to hit, please. No, this is awkward, but this is kind of the way I want to run this.
Do we have to roll wisdom saves?
Not yet,
Okay.
but
Does a 15 hit?
15 misses. And the save was a 22.
I haven't fired.
Oh, I thought you fired. Okay.
No.
for the toll of dead.
Yeah, for the Toll of the Dead. And then as this outlined hand gets closer and closer, it's almost reaches through the fog, and now you can see this long, white-skinned hand, extremely spindly and has long claws at the very end. It reaches out to try and touch Svieta. That is an 18.
Yeah.
Touched.
Hits.
That is 7 points of cold damage.
He's coming for, like, a soft pat or something.
It like scrapes through like across your flank, and you can feel the icicles form.
You said 7?
Yep.
I'm gonna yowl. I'll whine at the, like, cold touch and, like, immediately turn around and try and bite it.
Okay, roll to hit.
You're right beside me, right?
You have advantage from Fairy Fire.
I know, but I got pack tactics too.
Yeah. Double
You got
advantage.
everything.
No.
Doesn't count.
Slightly better. 18.
18. You bite down on the hand that's scraped to you. There's two things that happen. One, roll me a wisdom saving throw. And two, the outline disappears entirely. And the hand disappears as well.
Nat 20.
Okay, you don't take any further damage. Now all the lights are out, and the outline is no longer there. You stop hearing the voices close. You now hear the voices as if they're from the opposite side and further away.
It's still, like, shedding an outline of bright light.
It is not.
Carnelian, first things first. Carnelian, how badly hurt are you?
Like, half?
Okay. Now, Svieta, once means yes, two means no. When you come back to your original form, do you have all your health again? I can't remember.
Boof.
Good. I'm sorry, but I'm not salving you at this stage. I hope you understand.
Boof.
Sad boof.
Boof.
Here you go, Carnelian. Allow me to give you a little cream. Eight cream for you then. Eight healing for you.
Cheeky little heal there. Much obliged. We should move. We should absolutely not stand still.
Yep.
Okay.
Which way do we go? Can we at least try to ascertain cardinal directions? Is that even possible?
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Can I sniff for old dog trail?
Oh, stuff,
You
yeah.
can.
Not great. 5.
Can I roll nature because we're looking for cardinal direction?
There you go.
Sure.
Was that perception or nature? Sorry.
Perception or nature I will allow.
Perception will be 24.
24.
20 for me.
20. Okay.
12 perception.
12 perception. Sorry, Horatio, did you give
5.
5? Okay. The only thing you can tell right now is the opposite direction of where you saw the lights and from where this creature reached out from. That's the only point of reference you've got right now.
Opposite that.
So either
Better
that
than
way
nothing.
or the opposite.
Do we want to head towards it, or we want to try and run?
I think it's a roll of the dice, really. I'm thinking either away or towards the sound.
Which direction were the lights again?
It was ahead, so direct forward was where the lights were.
We should just turn around and continue heading back the way we came.
Turn around, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. You bring the sled around and you start making your way. Occasionally you hear from behind you that sound again and again. That smell picks up, but you're going. It doesn't seem to appear in front of you. Everyone roll me one more wisdom saving throw.
Final whiz.
Last quiz.
16.
16?
21.
21.
One on the die.
What'd you get?
One on the die.
Okay.
I got 2 on the die.
I'm gonna die.
Alright.
I'm gonna die.
Sveta and Wodun.
Same Jeff.
Ooh, not great for you guys. 17 points of cold damage.
Are you still a big shaggy dog?
So as soon as that cold damage hits, I will immediately transform back out and maybe like face plant into the snow because my
Got the bridle in
bridle in mouth. Face plant into the snow because my legs aren't used to going that speed as a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully the other dogs don't trample me. And just like yell out in surprise, like
Yep.
Sweater!
Yeah, you look over at Wodun and he's not a dog either.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
oh, that's a shame.
Damn it.
Well, I'm going to say, just for the sake of this, what happens is Sveta falls forward into the snow as the dogs continue. You manage to roll out of the way before the dogs trample you, and I assume someone picks you up along the way. Maybe hero moment from Horatio.
That's where I've just put my hand up, everyone.
Exactly.
Because I want to take this opportunity to try and grab her action hero style as we come beside her.
Horatio holds out his hand, and Sveta,
I'll grab like go for the forearm like that kind of like strong
Grab
grip.
it.
The predator handshake.
Oh, yeah.
You manage to pull
Press the flesh.
You manage to pull Sveta into the cart just as you're passing her. And one thing you notice is that as you're now progressing, you see trees start coming in through the fog, and you, for the first time, notice some foliage. And then as you break free from the fog, you notice that the rivers ahead of you come to a confluence. You look up, and the night sky appears before you. You turn around and you see one last look as the fog as it's receding off into the trees behind you, and a large white figure's head leans out of the trees maybe 10 feet up. It has no features, only blank face, stares at you as you make your way out and then recedes into the fog.
Creepy as fuck.
I'm like going close to like Horatio. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I don't want to go back.
Oh, no, thank you.
Wodun, you look injured.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. That was not Horatio wheezing. Classic injury.
Dude,
I'm going to salve you. Prepare
Please
yourself.
serve me.
How are you looking? Oh, you're full, aren't you? Because
pretty
you're-
good.
Yeah. You're always good.
Yeah.
7 points of healing.
Thank you.
Salve.
You salve Sveta and sorry,
A salve word and a salve sweater for fun.
correction. You give Sveta a little bit of a wet pat, and you salve Wodun.
Oh, wet.
Just a little.
So after he salves Wodun, he like wipes his hands on
Oh
his
no! It's horrible. Don't do
Do you want
that.
the rest?
No, I'm good.
Good for the hands.
Okay.
The cart comes to a stop where the rivers meet. You're out in the open night sky, and you know what this means.
Aurora Borealis?
Next week on Reflex Save. Oh no. It's true. I do instantly become a lot younger.
I
once
miss
shave.
kissing you on the cheek.
I miss kissing you on the mouth.
The beards get stuck.
We've had this discussion, I think, and it's not practical.